Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to What Remains of Edith
I got the
Finch.
sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
We have just gotten back from being Molly, so we're going to see what this game has in store for us next. It's a map of the house, it looks like, on her, wow, on her desk there. So, doesn't look like I can go out the door. Wonder if that's it for this room then. Hmm. Oh, there we go. Am I going to turn into a cat?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
And I've been hearing a cat, too. I was wondering about that. It's awful blasé about being out here.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
God, so many books. I should start paying attention to the titles and seeing if they're recycled or if they're the same. Or if they're, I'm sorry, if they're unique from room to room.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Win a family day out at Druid World.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
My friend Bigfoot. Okay, so there's more Borges. Might be that they're recycling. I'm looking for another copy of Call of the Wild. I know there was one of those a minute ago.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Interesting that the house doesn't have the weird wing on the east side there.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Norwegian flag. And we saw the dragon. Oh, there's blueprints. The dragon is like laying in ruins on the side of the house. God, look at this.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
Took the house with
hoping
him.
to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Huh. That is the weirdest.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
This is the weirdest viewfinder ever. Okay, so I can't look through there. Two copies of Oryx and Crake. Okay, so these are 3 copies of Oryx and Crake. 4. Okay, definitely repeating book titles, which is a tiny bit disappointing, but that would have been an awful lot of work. I will allow it.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh my god.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
I have seen this house on
Big
Zillow.
trace.
Wow, that is so wildly out of place. I love it.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Well, all right then. (1950 to 1961).
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
I love how blasé she is about the idea that we've just found a secret passage in the bathroom. Yeah, this is just a thing that happens here.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Fort Calvin.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Oh, wow.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
For the record, I am mostly I'm controlling the foot. Oops. So where are we now? We're in Sven. Alright. Not sure what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I don't seem to be able to get off of this thing. Let's just swing for a little while. Oh, that started. Come on, get off. There were starting to be words there.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
I can use both feet. That's
At
interesting.
Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Mom! Calvin!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
No, it's not.
Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Uh-oh.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
This is... Oh, we did it!
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Wow. So the control scheme is really interesting. Like, both of the thumbsticks do stuff, and what I was missing
After the
there...
funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
is that I needed to use both feet. So right leg and left leg to be able to properly swing through that. Oh, that's depressing. So this is also closed off. Can I go up here? Only sort of.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Up.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Yeah. Alright, so let's check out this first.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Okay, so we're in Barbara's room, but it looks like we could have gotten back out into a hallway. This is also roped off.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Barb Street.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Surprise
Jack
ending.
here
Jesus.
With another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Oh, yikes.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Did you put the key back? I'm actually in control of some of this.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Love the Friday the 13th music.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb,
Kept his crutch.
have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Okay, so I have not been in this room. Oh, wait, here we go.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
Back in Molly's room.
And opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. Had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Of course it was.
Oh dear.
Huh.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Ew.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
It's actually a pretty credible, like, 1950s and 60s horror comic right there.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
I don't know about that. Alright, you got 6 minutes. Let's see. Got time to do a little bit more, I think. Nothing else is lighting up in this room.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Okay, so we can look through any of the peepholes.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
From the hallway, it looks
Mom must
like.
have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
I'm sure we'll find our way up there eventually. I'm going to check a couple more peepholes real quick. Pretty sure the next thing is the...
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
When you phrase it like that, it sounds horrifying.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
They're very clearly trying
As
to
a
push
kid,
us toward
I
that
just
music
assumed
box.
Every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
That going into the bathroom is an interesting touch. That would freak me out. Alright, any other peepholes? Shoot, we were just... Are we over here? It's Molly again. I've seen Molly's room. We started off in here. And then this is where we just were, right? Yeah. House is small enough, you'd think I'd remember where we've been.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
This is the library. Yeah. And then the music box should be... Yeah, right there. Okay, so we're actually going to stop here, and we will pick up next episode with the music box. Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and move until it saves, so... There we go. There. Alright. We will stop here. If you're having fun, leave a like and a subscribe. Tell everybody you know. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you soon with more What Remains of Edith Finch.